we got ourselves a package, and you already know what it is. It is a wool blanket, but it is the one that you guys voted for on my YouTube community page, but I haven't opened it yet because I wanted to open it with you on camera. I'm really hoping the quality is what she said it is because I don't have a backup. That is actually so cute. It's in a pillowcase. Okay. Oh, that's really pretty. And the one thing I really loved about it was this beautiful label on it, and I really want to repurpose this. It is so cute. Let's make our wool blanket coat. I'm excited. The coat I'm going to make today is the crop statement coat from Erin Robertson. I've been following her for so long, ever since she was on Project Runway several seasons ago. She ended up winning. I loved her stuff then. I still love it now. So I'm really excited for this project. And I already cut out all the pattern pieces. It's all good to go. I did extend the sleeve. The sleeve is 2 pieces. I extended it 1.5 inches. I just felt it was a little short, so better too long than not long enough. I'm really in love with this blanket. It's actually quite heavy, so this is gonna be like quite the hefty coat. And you guys voted for this thread color. This was the combination I made. It kind of picks up that blue that's in the plaid here. I decided because it's quite thick when I fold it in half, I'm going to cut everything with just 1 layer, and I'll just have to be sure that I'm mirroring my pieces because I don't have enough room to mess it up. But I think it'll be okay. It'll be fine. All the pieces are cut and ready to go, but as I was cutting, I thought of another little detail I want to add to the front panels. Lately, I've been really liking monograms, and I kind of want to add my one initial. I don't want to do ES, but just E to the front. I'm thinking within this yellow square, but since this is wool, it's thicker. If I use regular embroidery, it's just gonna honestly disappear. So I wanna use a different technique. I just learned of a stitch called the rope stitch, and it was in a video from Kristen Nicholas called Sew It With Wool Crewel Embroidery on Craftsy, which is the sponsor of today's video. This stitch is so perfect on our project, especially for wool, and she has so many great options of different stitches and techniques like embroidery stitches, filling stitches. There's another really cute one she does called the Lazy Daisy. I kind of want to try that one on another project. It looks so cute. This is honestly so fun. So Craftsy is an online resource for all things creative like sewing, cake decorating, crochet. You can also connect with other DIYers and share ideas, ask for some tips and tricks, or even just to connect with other people that are into the same crafts as you. Another class I recommend that I also want to try are the pattern and design classes. There's one on collars and closures or creative darts and seam lines. So just another way to spice up your pattern drafting. I feel like I need to sharpen my skills because they're falling away. Best part is, if you click the link down below, you get the first full year of Craftsy Premium for only $1.49, and this is valid for new members only. I'm almost done my E. It is looking so cute. Now I'm gonna monogram everything, honestly. So this is the final E. Thanks again to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. I quickly watched her tutorial, and I'm just starting by doing the pocket flaps because I'm trying to get in the rhythm of how to do the blanket stitch again and to keep it consistent. Actually, that's the hardest part, is keeping it looking consistent and the same. But this is what I have so far, which I think is actually quite cute. It's not super noticeable, but maybe that's good for my first blanket coat because otherwise you'll notice my very inconsistent blanket stitches. This is the first pocket flap done. I still need a couple stitches here, but I'm gonna do that when I attach it to the jacket, and then I have to do the top one. But It's looking okay, like definitely room for improvement. So I'm gonna try it on the next flap, and I'm gonna keep working on places that are not so important, and hopefully by the end, when I have to do the main stitches around the center front, it'll look better. Finished my other pocket flap, and I think I have a system now. I'm using my thumb as a width marker, so every space is as wide as my thumb, and honestly, it's really helping. Like, look how much better that is. You can see it better from the other side. That's good. Now that I'm feeling confident, I want to try and attach panels, and I think I want to start with the, do I want to start? I only have this much. Okay, let's maybe start with the shoulder to the back. It's definitely harder to sew layers together. I think I discovered my method. When I'm just kind of eyeballing, I can eyeball a lot better than trying to use my thumb. So for the pockets, that was working. But for attaching panels together, I'm gonna keep eyeballing it because that's what's actually working. And I'm trying to make sure I pick up both layers when I go down and when I come up, so it's really secure. See how this is? Okay. Fun! We got so much more to do. I'm just gonna keep plugging away, attaching the other front seam and adding the pockets to the front. My back is getting sore, but I will say, like, I thought it would take so much longer than what it is. I just did a pocket on the one side with the little flap because I had to try and figure out how to attach it all, but I got it. So now we're gonna do the other side, and I didn't do the bottom yet because we do that at the end. We're gonna go around the whole bottom and then up the center front, so that's a later thing. But so far so good. Actually, I should show you what it's looking like on. Love the E. I think that is so cute. So now we need to add another pocket with the other flap. Just about done attaching the other pocket and pocket flap. Also, I've always wanted to try and hand sew a whole garment, but if this is blanket stitching and it's taking this long, I can't imagine how long it takes to do like a regular pair of pants or something. Like, this is long enough for me. Okay, pockets are on. Let's see how it's looking. Tomorrow I have to go to the market to get snaps. Good morning. It is Friday, which means market day, and I feel like we can finish the jacket today, but the final touch is like 5 massive snaps down the front, like 1-inch snaps. Of course I don't have them, so we're gonna go to the market. Do I want to cycle? Yes. We're back from the market. I ended up only getting 4 rather than 5 because they're sold in packs of 2 and I don't want one random one later. So I think 4 is okay. Ugh. I'm just gonna lay it out, but I kind of love just how giant they are. Like, so cool. Okay, that's like 1, 2. I think 5 is a bit excessive actually. Honestly, 4 is perfect. That makes me feel better about my decision then. So now I want to do the sleeves, and I was watching her tutorial. She just has a TikTok as a tutorial, but I noticed that I may be getting a little too lax. I noticed on the pocket that my stitches are starting to get kind of far apart, and I was nervous about the shoulders. I think they're okay, but for the rest of it, especially at the sides and the sleeves where I feel like there's going to be a little bit more friction or something happening. I kind of want to put my stitches a little bit closer together so I feel like it's more secure. So let's start with the sleeves. Okay, guys, I did not plan this, but let me show you the lining up of the plaid. Look, the plaid lines up. That's so satisfying. Does it match up on the other side? Yeah, again, slay. I started stitching a little bit closer together and it feels a bit more secure. These are my stitches so far. You can tell they're not very even. They're equally spaced apart though. The tricky thing with this pattern is I don't know what the seam allowance is supposed to be. Like, I'm making it 3/4 of an inch. I think I made the shoulder ones an inch because I overlapped it way too much. But there's no, like, not even on the instructions, not on the pattern, so I think it's just kind of do what you want. I need to finish the bottom of the cuff, like do a blanket stitch around, and then I have to sew up the side seam of the actual body, of course, before we can put in a sleeve. So we still have a few things to do. I'm gonna finish the other sleeve, and then we can then go on to the next step of actually putting this sleeve in. Took a bit, but we finished the side seams. Oh, guys, I think I finally picked up my stride when I got to the side seams, which are gonna be like the least visible, but super happy. And my sleeves are ready. This sweater and denim pairing is like perfect for this coat. I don't like how the back sits like this. I guess because this has not very much drape to the jacket, so it like juts out. Maybe we can add like a little pleat or something like this. But obviously the pins are bringing it up a bit, but I feel like I like it though. Okay, good to know. We are gonna put pleats in the back when we get there. Now it's about figuring out if the sleeves actually fit in the jacket. Oh, and I have an idea for this label. I really want to add this label back. I have an idea of where I want to put it, but that's going to be the very final last detail. Okay, maybe this is together. Day 3, and for sure we're going to finish this today. Like, I'm already loving it. I find the stitching process quite meditative because it's just like repeating the same stitch over and over and over again, which is kind of nice, and I'm watching a lot of YouTube. But I think today I brought my notebook, my Italian notebook, because I'm trying to learn Italian. My boyfriend is Italian, so I feel like I need to know it more than what I do. So I'm doing lessons now, and I have to like practice conjugating my verbs and stuff. I actually really enjoy it. I finished one sleeve, and I really want to try it on just to see what the sleeve looks like. Also, the fact that it can fit over my sweater now is good. Wow, okay, this thing is chunky. Maybe I made the sleeves too long. Just my fingers out. I'm gonna just attach the other sleeve, and then maybe at the end I might just cut off and redo the stitch because it's definitely too long. So lesson learned, if you're going to make the jacket, you don't need to lengthen the sleeves at all. I lengthened it 1.5 inches, and I probably will cut off 1.5 inches. I should have just trusted the pattern. And now it just makes extra work for me. The sleeves are done. This thing is huge. Now is the collar, and I just need to do a stitch like all the way around. And we'll leave the bottom because we'll stitch it when we put it onto the jacket. I would love to try this coat with a thinner blanket because this one's quite thick and stiff, which is nice. Like, I do like it, but just seeing how she does hers, you can definitely tell it's a way thinner blanket. I mean, I bought mine online, so it's harder to see the weight of it. So if you're gonna make this cropped blanket, I would suggest a lighter one. So I finished the collar, that's all good to go, but before I can add it, I need to do the whole center front and bottom all the way around, which means I need to do the pleats on the back like we talked about earlier. Now starts the long stretch of stitching again. Well, that took a while, and I finished the stitch all around the edge. I did make it a bit wider just because this is all I have left, and I still need to sew the collar on, which we're going to do now, and then we just lay it on top. We are so close to the end. The collar is on, and then I also did the snaps, so I just have the 4 snaps on. I need to find a place for this label. I'm thinking either on the cuff or like on the back corner. You know, like Loewe has their logo in the back. I'm kind of actually leaning more towards that, like this kind of situation. Here's a better look at it. It looks so good in the bottom corner. Also for the pleats, I want to press this still with the iron, but with the blanket stitch, I did them really close together because it's so bulky. I wanted to be sure that it's like tacked down, but it needs a really good press after everything is done. Now I have to figure out the sleeves. I'm working on the sleeve, and I just unstitched how much I want to cut off and retied it behind. So now I'm just gonna go with scissors and cut this off and re-stitch. Okay, this is the final step. I already pressed the back pleats and the collar. Everything is good. It's just honestly fixing the sleeves, and then we can see what the final jacket looks like.
Say bye because it's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here, subscribe down below, the campanella, the bell. Bra. Okay, and now walk away.